to my home country, Makadi, treating you.
Welcome to TJK Shares, one-on-one with TJK, ladies and gentlemen. This is another day the Lord has made. We come here to share, to learn, relearn, and unlearn. But in the same spirit, we bring you people from all over the world who are ordinary people doing transformational or extraordinary things. Ladies and gentlemen, today we go all the way to the southern part of Africa where we will meet a person who's done so much for her community, who has given back, who has traveled around the world promoting this important aspect of our lives that we can't live without. That aspect is agriculture, is conservation, is plants, is farming. My friend Vimbai, welcome to the program. Please greet our people and remember to greet the people in your local language so when they watch, they can identify with the channel. Welcome and thank you for taking our request and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jackson, for having me here. Hello, everyone. Uh, to my home country, Makadi, treating you.
Mahadi, Mahadi. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, your mom, your dad, your siblings, so we can get to know a little bit about you. That way, when we tie in the transformational work you are doing, people can see where it all started and how it came about. You can even go in great grandmothers and grandfathers if you want. In summer.
That's a good one. Every time I ask that question, I'm like, where do I start from? You
Exactly.
know? Uh, yeah, because it's quite a pregnant person. But I'll try my best to give you a detail about myself. So my name is Vimbai Caroline Kaitano.
Mhm.
Uh, Believe it or not, Caroline, my parents named me Caroline because they used to sing to Sweet Caroline when my mom was pregnant with me.
Oh,
So
oh.
they decided to name me Caroline. So I'm 32 years old. I turned 32 in April. I'm in a family of five. We are three girls and two boys.
Yes.
I've been raised in a Christian community. Uh, so it all comes back from the grandparents, where the best thing that they ever gave us is to have values in God. So we are quite strong on our Christian background.
Mm.
Um, I studied IT in university because around that time IT was the it thing. Everyone was just going computer science, computer science. And I was like, okay, let me do that. I followed others, but I did not enjoy it at all. Uh, yeah, I did not enjoy it, but I finished, yeah, I finished school in 2015, and then I only got to fall in love with farming in 2018, actually. So I then got to find a passion in 2018. That's when I started, I would say I started living because I then realized my passion that it's actually in farming, not everything else. But all that I did before that, it was not for nothing. It was building up to that. Uh, I'm a very bubbly, joyful person. I just like good vibes. I just want to be happy, and I try to bring joy in people's lives. I want to bring light. So wherever I am, I do my best to bring light. Yeah, and to just be happy people. Let's not stress. Let's leave everything to God to figure it out, and we just live a good life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, when you say great grandparents and then siblings, and then you started IT and then didn't like IT, but it was a thing to do. For young people who are listening to us, again, once we explore this subject and you get to know Vimbai and Sweet Carolina, maybe she will sit Sweet Carolina for us at the end. You will understand that what you study does not mean is what you end up doing. Because part of what we're going to focus on really here is an organization that Vimbai started called Carlos Seedlings and Vegetables. And I met you here at Michigan State University in Michigan when you were on a fellowship among so many people, and your poster stood out solving a problem that we have in so many different countries. So please share with us your aha moment when you said, this is what I want to do, and this is where I'm going to dedicate my life. The passion, when did that passion tie with the action to be able to do it?
Okay, so my passion came about in 2018 when a friend of mine called Dennis, he persuaded me to try and venture into agriculture. I never saw myself getting into agriculture whatsoever.
Mm,
So it was through me saying, you know what, okay, I'll give it a try. That's when I realized, you know what, this actually pays off. I actually enjoy this. I am lively when I'm around plants. It's
mhm,
like they speak to me, I speak to them. So I get life in that. But at that time, I was employed and my job was very taxing, so I didn't have much time to concentrate on what I wanted to do.
mm,
So it was more like I was doing self-on farming. So that did not really work out well. And then late in 2019, I then got retrenched, right? So that's when I was like, aha, now I can then focus on doing this farming thing and actually learn, give it my all, and see where it will take me. So now that transition, coming from an IT background, you're in corporate, you're not getting into farming. I didn't have any agronomy knowledge, any farming knowledge whatsoever. It was just little. So I had to learn everything from the ground.
mm.
It was quite it was quite a challenge for me to find my footing and to understand the industry altogether. So it was through all of those challenges I realized that, you know what, there are so many people who are like me that are also struggling with the same. So how about I also help them? Because as I was doing my own seedlings, my friends then started asking me to do seedlings for them. And then I realized that I could actually make money out of this. This can actually be a business. So that was also the aha moment. It was through my friends who were very supportive. All right. So in so doing now, like I'm saying, I'm doing seedlings, and now there are people that are approaching me and asking for those seedlings. But then I would realize that they just have the zeal, but they don't have the know-how, you know? Like, and then it would take me back to when I started, how much I had the zeal, but I didn't have the knowledge. So it was costly, right? In the end, because now you're putting in the work, you're putting in the money, but you're not getting anything out of it because
Yeah.
you don't have the knowledge to for you to actually succeed the way you're supposed to. So that's when I was like, you know what? Carrot seedlings and vegetables is not just going to be about selling. It's
Yeah.
also going to be about support. So we support people so that they actually get value for their money and they get to embrace agriculture and enjoy it and make something out of it.
So you support people, they make something out of it. You started through a friend and then realized it's profitable and you do it full time. How did that lead you to Michigan State University? How did you end up in the fellowship to come to United States on this State Department funded fellowship?
So I would say it was through my network,
Okay.
with people knowing my passion, my zeal, and the impact that I was making. They started sending me the application and they encouraged me to apply. And I was like, oh, you know what? Because I think I got it from about 3 people, 4 people. I
Yeah.
was like, "Ah, you know what? This is the sign. Let me apply." So I put my all in it and I prayed. I kid you not. I prayed. I was like, God,
Yes.
anything. Just give me this.
Yes.
I would really want this. And I was like, you know what, God, at least all the effort that I've been putting in, the hard work, it won't be for nothing.
Yeah.
Just give me this. And God granted me that. And I got to come and I met you and the rest of the team.
Very good. The rest of the history. In addition to meeting Michigan farmers and going to Washington, D.C., and learning in class and outside the class, what stood out as a highlight for you throughout that time you spent in the United States?
For me, it was to say my dreams are valid. All right.
Okay.
Some of the things that I had been dreaming about, to say this is where I want to go. Um, and the aspirations that I had, sometimes you have these aspirations and you're asking yourself,
Hmm.
is really achievable, or I'm just going crazy here. So when I got there and I could see those things happening, I was like, you know what? My dreams are actually valid. And actually become the person that I want to become if I put in the work.
Very good. And through Michigan State University, a follow-up question related to that. What kind of support have you received since you left the fellowship? This is a plug for the fellowship. Uh, I've never been in it, but I know so many people, and I'm one of the host families for the fellows when they come here. That's how
Mhm.
at my house.
No, you're a very good host, by the way. I would
No,
love to come back.
thank you.
The professional fellows team, they're very helpful. It's like they're also very much invested in the fellows. So it's just a matter of a phone call, a text, an email. And if I am to share that, you know what, I need guidance on such and such a thing, they're always ready and quick to assist. I know like there are some applications that I've had to do a bit of guidance that I needed and some mentorship on other things that I needed. And they're always quick to assist. So it did not just end when we left America. It's still ongoing. We are in good books and we can always reach out at any time and they respond. If they cannot do it, they're always ready to refer us to the person that they know in the circle can be of assistance. So it's actually quite a very, I would say, a good network that continues to grow because as they are referring us to other people, the network is widening. And also they do share some opportunities that will be there and encourage us to apply and be part of it for our growth.
Very good. Community development is one thing that we at the team at TJK is involved in. Minyaka, the organizational lead, is involved in. How do your initiative,
Yes.
like teaching skills in schools and supporting orphanages, how do you make a direct link on how you contribute to long-term community empowerment?
Okay, so for me, with these programs, the way I do them is because I would want to play a part in changing the narrative in agriculture. Uh, Agriculture is seen uh, from Africa, I would say,
Mm.
it's seen as uh, a not a profession even, but it's seen as something that is done by the retired, done by the old, done by the poor, all
Yeah.
of that. Which is why many people do not want to get into agriculture
Mhm.
because it's not something that is held in high regard. So what I'm trying to do here is to plant the good seed in them early, all right, and give them as much exposure as I can so that they can embrace it differently and get to have an appreciation of agriculture and know that there are so many opportunities in agriculture. When you think of agriculture, it's not just about tilling the land, doing the cattle, doing the whatever it is. But there is so much, like the whole value chain, it's broad, and one can find their space. It could be in production, it could be in marketing, it could be in doing systems for the farmers, it could be in packaging. logistics, like all of that. So they need to have that exposure and understanding that there is so much that you can do in agriculture. And with that way, they'll have options. When they would want to do anything, they have those options. They are able to grow food for themselves, household food security, Um, yeah, something like that. So that's how I see it. Planting the seed early, giving them exposure, and making them appreciate agriculture.
You're absolutely right, Vimbai. When you think, for those of us who grew up in the villages, we ran away
Mm.
from agriculture. You were forced to go to the gardens and harvest and crops. You come and live this good life where you get in your car, go to the office, work, and come home. But for me, working at Michigan State University, it brought back all the memories of farming and how important farming is. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing people doing PhDs in agriculture, in horticulture, in gardening, in cutting grass. Like, oh my goodness, you can
Yeah,
do this. So for people like you who are on the
exactly.
ground, on our motherland, how difficult is it to convince young people that actually this is something you can invest in, you can make money in? It is as sexy as going to fix computers. It is as
Mhm.
rewarding as starting an enterprise in selling computers. It is as profitable as any other business. Do you find any challenges convincing younger people to invest in agriculture? Uh,
Yes, it's actually quite a challenge. The reason being, agriculture is not a get rich quick scheme.
yes.
So nowadays, like we're in the microwave generation where people want to get you know. So when you're trying to tell them, like, what, with farming, you might need to invest 2, 3, 4, 5 years before it starts to really be profitable.
Mm,
Someone will be like, no, why would I want to invest in something like that? So that becomes a challenge. But then there are others that when they're given the right exposure, the right knowledge, they're they're willing, to take on the journey. So what I think is also important is for them to see those that are making it, like the young people that are making it. It then becomes encouraging and empowering. So
yes.
that way they know firsthand that what they are saying, it's possible, right? I can also get there too. So what we need to do is to shift that mentality to say you get rich quick with farming. But
Okay.
you have to put in the work, you have to be patient, you have to plan, and you have to be consistent.
And that exactly answers the question I was going to ask you, that if somebody is watching right now and wants to start, how do they go about? So you are saying you want to go process by process. And I always use the example of a seed turning into a
Mm.
thing. The microwave concept, that is a tweetable moment. We need to tweet that we want to get rich quick, we want to drive through, we want microwave. For those of you, my people who don't have a microwave or don't know how microwave works, you get your cup of water, put it in, press a button, 2 minutes, and you have hot water. That is different from how my mother would go get firewood, light the fire, put it on, and keep breathing and pouring her breath on it until the water. So microwave is get rich quick scenarios which don't last. So take your patience. Think of a seed, you put it in the ground, you wait, you water, the sun comes, it brings with two just yellow leaves, which need now more sun to become a flower, and eventually you harvest your seeds. But that's your expertise. Now I'm tapping into your expertise.
No,
Eh,
you got it so right. Yeah, yeah, it's so sad, hey? Like we really want people that can be like, what, I'm going to be patient. I want to nurture this. I want to see this thing grow. I want to trust the process. I want to see how it can go. Even the concept of starting small.
mm,
Uh, people don't like nowadays, not everyone is embracing humble beginnings,
Yes.
right? I think it could be because of social media, how sometimes people portray things. They are now just showing when they have made it. But then you don't have the background of how
Yeah.
that started. So now when you're getting into it, you want to start with 5,000 chickens. You want to start with 2 hectares of cabbages, but you have never grown in your backyard. For you to understand what goes in, everything that is involved with that. So yeah, it's there's work to be done, but it's doable,
So
I
you're
believe.
telling me there are no filters. These days you take a picture and put a filter and you come out all well done. There's no filters for plants. It has to take a natural process.
No, they are not.
Vimbai, share with us one of the biggest achievements in your journey. And because people hear of achievements a lot, on this channel, I tend to challenge our guests to also share a challenge. I don't want to call it a failure, but sometimes we learn more from failures and challenges more than even the success. One success and one challenge that you faced where you went, I don't know if I can overcome this one and keep moving.
I'll start with the challenge.
Yes.
Um, for me, I would say the first 3 years when I started, they were all a challenge. I remember one time crying and I was like, God, and then what? Because at that time, um, our bowl stopped working. I didn't have water, and I had a field that had tomatoes that I had flowering point, and I was just looking forward to making money out of them, which was then a loss.
Yes.
Um, it has been so many challenges. Like it is just, I think for me, it has mainly been about not having the right knowledge. So
Mm.
that has been my main challenge, not having the right knowledge.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I struggled a lot, and when I started, I didn't have the right network, so I didn't have the people that could guide me, which is why I am so passionate about supporting people because I
Mm.
know the pain, you know, I know the pain, I know the cost of not knowing what to do, and you just fly by the night. So yeah, that was quite a main challenge for me. And my success, it's when I see someone excelling at what they do. Like when I take them through and they'll be like, you know what, Carol, we did it. And I want to do more. Like when they grow, for me, that's it. I'll be like, yes, my work is done. When they say we are going to the market and it's so good and we want to do more. For me, yeah, that's success for me. That's what I live for. Seeing other people succeed is
Mm.
what I live for. That's what I call success.
Very good. I I've
No.
spoken to some of you fellows. I think we got a little bit an internet challenge here, but I'm going to ask you about the other fellows that we've interviewed. Okay, we got an interruption, ladies and gentlemen. We will wait on Vimbai to come back, and here she comes back. One of the biggest challenges, Vimbai, is internet connectivity. I can't tell
Well,
you
it's
how
one
many
of those.
I can't tell you how many times we've been doing these interviews with people on the motherland, and this happens. And I always emphasize to our producer and editor not to take it out because the world needs to know the challenges we go through. When I'm
Yes.
interviewing somebody in Portugal, interview somebody in Netherlands, we don't get those interruptions. You go to our continent of Africa, the interruptions are over and over. So, ladies and gentlemen, investors of the world, social entrepreneurs, we need to invest in internet connectivity so we don't have to miss opportunities like we just missed. But what I was telling you was that in your fellowship here, we've had guests come here from South Africa
Mhm.
who are selling chickens, from uh, Zim, your same country. We have had them come here. We are going to wrap up this one, but you have had major success with the people, and I know Michigan State University also visited around to support all of you. So, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, young people, agriculture is for real. Agriculture helps all of us, is the backbone of our lives. Right now, I'm drinking tea from agriculture. I'm going to eat a lunch from agriculture, and we depend on it and need to support it. And it's profitable. You've heard it from South Africa, from Brazil, from Venezuela. Vimbai, knowing what you know now and looking back on what everything you've done, if you are going to give yourself an advice, what would you advise yourself when you were 18 years of age?
I would say go easy on yourself, keep showing up, keep
Mhm.
learning,
Yes.
trust the process. It will eventually make sense.
It eventually works.
Yes.
And pray to God and be thankful, have a grateful heart, and know that people have your back. You have mentored so many women and so many men, poor people, older people, rich farmers, poor farmers. I really very much appreciate the work you do, and I wanted to share it on this channel so people can know what is happening. By the way, Peter Lama was here yesterday, and I told him we are going to have this conversation. Mike
Oh,
is in Uganda as we are having this conversation. Continue
oh,
with
nice.
our work, and new fellows will be here. We will support them just like we did with you. Is there something I didn't ask you that you want to share? And as you speak about that, also, please say how people can find you and learn more about your work.
Um, I would say whatever journey one decides to take, it's really not for the faint-hearted, but
Mhm.
we have to define our why because it's the why that is going to take us through the highs and the lows. And we must be authentic
But
as much as we can and continue bringing positive impact, a lasting impact to people. Because the more that we help other people, the more God is going to bless us. It's there in the Bible. So we just have to play our part in whatever place that we find ourselves in. So on social media, people can find me on social media. On LinkedIn, it's Vimbai Caroline Kaitano. As for even on Facebook, as for my company pages, it's Carol Seedlings and Vegetables. On Facebook, we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Twitter, we are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, and we also have a website.
perfect. Thank you for making time. It's late where you are. Please get some rest and continue to make a difference you are making in the world. For those of you who are watching, please share, please subscribe, and continue to spread this message and know that ordinary people are doing extraordinary things, and that's not limited to me and Vimbai. It's you, it's the next generation, and the next person. So thank you, thank you. I'm so glad Sweet Carolina, the song, did make you a middle name Carolina, and now Carlos Seedlings. Thank you for making time and have an amazing.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you. I really appreciate.
You are welcome, and I will see you in Zim one of these days.
All right, I'll be waiting for you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Bye.